Hello everyone, today let's solve the problem number 619, biggest single number. So what the question states here, we are given a table my numbers. You can clearly see here we are given the table my numbers with a single column num. You can clearly see here the column, we have single column here named num that may contain duplicate values. It might contain duplicate values. So here the num is of the type integer, right? So here let me come here, this might contain duplicate. So here in the example one you can clearly see 8 contains 8 here again, means 8 contains duplicate, 3 also contains duplicates here. It might contain duplicate values they have given, right? So a single number is defined as a number that appears only once in the table. Here you can clearly see 1 appears only once in the table, 4 appears only once in the table, 5 also appears only once in the table, and 6 also appears only once in the table, right? We have to write an SQL query to find the largest single number. So among these, so these are the 4 numbers which appears. So yeah, this appears only once in the table. So we have to write the SQL query to find the largest single number. Largest means here in this case 6 is the largest single number, right? So for that one we have to write the SQL query. We have to write the SQL query to find the largest single number. If no such number exists, then we have to return null in this case, right? So here out of 1, 4, 1, 5, 6, first we need to find out the number which appears only once in the table. In this case it is 1456. Then we have to return among those numbers, we have to return the largest number that is present in the table. Here see 1, 4, 5 and 6 we have. In this case we have to return 6, right? So 6 is the largest among 1, 4, 5 and 6. So we have to return that 6 in the form of output, right? I hope this is clear. Again I'm telling 1, 4, 5, 6 we are considering because it is present only once in the table. 1, 4, 5 and 6 doesn't have duplicates, right? Here it doesn't have duplicates, so we'll consider 1, 4, 5, 6. Among 1, 4, 5, 6 we will be considering, we have to consider the largest and display that one in the form of output, right? In this case it is 6. So the single numbers are 1, 4, 5, 6. Since 6 is the largest number, we will return it. That's what they have given in the explanation. That's what I have said from that time, right? So I hope the question is completely clear. What we need to do is completely clear as well. As usual, first let's discuss the approach and then let's write the query, right? Now first let's discuss the approach. Here first thing here, let's discuss the approach first. So the first thing here is we have to identify the single numbers, right? As we have discussed in the example, as we have discussed the example earlier, we have already discussed the same thing, right? First we need to identify the single numbers. Means a single number is a value that appears exactly once in the table. That we have discussed this one, we know this one by now, right? So let's move on with the next step. Here we will be making use of group by and group by clause and having keyword. Here why we will be making use of the group by and having here, because we have to group the numbers. So in this case the single numbers that were present in the table was 1, 4, 5 and 6, right? We have to group this one, right, first. So that is the reason we'll be making use of the group by clause. We have to group the numbers and select those only with count of star equals 1. Means it should be present exactly once in the table. In this case it is 1, 4, 5 and 6. That's what. So that is what this step says. So we know this one by now, right? So let's move on with the third step. Here we have to find the largest single number. So 1, 4, 5 and 6 we have to return this number as the in the form of output, right? So that's what we need to do. This is the final step. We will be making use of the max keyword because we need to return the largest number, right? So SQL provides max keyword, so we will be making use of the max keyword to get the largest value among the single numbers. So I hope this is completely clear, easy to understand, right? So these are the 3 steps that we need to follow. This is the approach that we'll be going with. First step here is we have to identify the single numbers. Second step here is we will use group by and having, and the third step here is we will find the largest single number, right? So I hope this is completely clear. Now let's start writing the. So now let's start with, I'll just go with the select keyword here. As we had discussed in the approach, we will be going with a max of num initially itself. As let me give here num. This is num, right? This is coming from, so So let me open the parenthesis here. So if you remember, in the step 2, we considered that we have to group the numbers and select those numbers where count equals 1. We have to consider all the single numbers, right, without duplicates, the number without duplicates in the table. So for that one, let's write the query inside this one parenthesis. So I'll just go with here, select num, it is coming from my numbers, right? So just give me a second here, this one my numbers table, right? So let me copy this one my numbers here, so let me paste it over here. So we have also discussed that we will be making use of group by and having, right, if you remember. So I'll just go with the group by here based on number. Why we need to group by? Because it should be present exactly once, right? So I'll just be going with the having keyword here. I'll go with count of star, this one equals to 1. So this one will be as t, right? So I hope this is clear. Let me hit the run button. So here you can clearly see the sample test cases are getting passed. Means let me hit the submit button. I hope this works for all the test cases. Let's see. So here you can clearly see all the test cases are getting passed. Means the query works absolutely correct on this case, right? So whatever query, I hope whatever query that we have written is completely clear, right? For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.